Well, I would like to welcome everyone here today. I'm Bill Hudson, Dean of the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science, and I'd like to welcome Congressman Kind for his willingness to join us, thank him for his support of our programs, and also thank him for his wisdom as he understands many of the issues and can help bring some common sense to some of the activities going on. I myself am a newcomer to the Platteville campus, having been here for about a year and a half, but what I've found is a very welcoming community. I found a campus of caring and talented individuals in a group focused on trying to meet the needs of students, industry, and the economic needs of the state. The grant is yet another example of a team coming together to meet student needs. The team was led by Christina Curris, supported by Tammy Salmon-Stevens and Scott Summers, and I was invited to participate as well, and I'm incredibly grateful for that experience, so thank you. The College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science offers our students degrees in high-value STEM areas. They are a 360-degree graduate with a wide variety of skill sets able to meet the changing and evolving needs of the country. We understand the challenge of attracting students to the STEM areas. Not everyone looks forward to math and physics courses, and in many cases feels intimidated by them. So this grant provides yet another example of how we can retain students, and move forward as a country. We've had multiple NSF grants on campus to support Menominee Nations, grants for furthering MEMS and nanotechnologies, and now funds to support additional recruitment and retention efforts. Nationwide, we look at about a 50% retention in the STEM areas. That's something we need to do much better. Every student we lose is a loss and a potential significant loss to all of us. This is a significant milestone, but it's only one more step forward. In the near future, it's my hope we'll be moving forward with plans for new and innovative technologies and pedagogies to provide STEM education across the state of Wisconsin. At the same time we provide this education, we will maintain the Platteville experience, the experience of hands-on interactions, the faculty and students engaging with the type of projects that you've seen downstairs, and we will be training engineers that not only know the theory, but can hit the ground running and be productive from day one in their respective careers. At UW-Platteville, we're striving to provide the STEM education of choice, to be education innovators, to be cost-effective, with a campus community that cares about its students. Again, my thanks to you for your efforts and support of us.
Wonderful. Thank you, Bill.
I'd also like to thank all of you for coming, and the congressman for coming and supporting us with this grant. The team was successful with this grant because we built on the foundation laid by others on our campus who have done so much work before, the STEM scholars and these other projects. So I'd like to thank them for starting the work that we are able to then continue on. The goal of this is to support our students, to increase their recruitment and the retention so that they can succeed, so that they can graduate, and so they can become scientists and engineers and mathematicians who will help move our country forward. And so I look forward to getting started and look forward to asking you all for help as we move on. So
there's the ask.
Thank you again.
Great. Well, first of all, my congratulations to the grant team. Listen, this stuff is hard to get. It's very competitive out there, and especially with the bigger players on the national scene, to be successful in the grant application, I think fits into the mission and the vision that I see taking place right here on campus. I've had a wonderful visit today. I'm always learning something new when I visit campus, as it should be, like a student, always going to school and that. I'm sorry Chancellor Shields wasn't able to be with us today. I understand he's down in New Orleans. Fortunately there when a hurricane's not visiting that region, and that's taking place on the East Coast right now. But this, I believe, is the direction we need to go in. If we're going to get this economy back on track, creating good paying jobs, to remain the most innovative and competitive and creative nation in the world, I tell people I think the greatest economic challenge we face today is increased global competition. And how we respond to that as a nation will define us, who we will be in the 21st century. And trust me, other nations are doing this type of stuff. They're investing heavily in their education infrastructure, in the STEM studies in particular, in basic and applied research, in their infrastructure. They'd love nothing better than to see the United States pull up short on these endeavors and turn our back on the crucial public investments that have to be made. But what I'm also encouraged in seeing today is the private sector partnership that has been established here on campus, and the companies realizing how vital it is to have access to the best educated and best trained workforce in the world, from colleges, universities like Platteville here, and their willingness to donate equipment, tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment that they're willing to donate so the undergraduates can have hands-on practical experience in working with that so they can hit the ground running following graduation. I've been one of the leaders in Congress on the innovation agenda. I think our nation is in desperate need of an innovation agenda. You know, it's based on past studies from the National Academy of Sciences, Rising Above the Gathering Storm. I think you can even go back to the John Glenn Commission so many years ago, warning us of the importance of STEM studies education and those fields that are opening up in the future without neglecting the liberal arts education at the same time and maintaining that important balance and investment. But science, technology, engineering, math, from the tour I took with Dr. Trebrizi a little bit earlier on the Plastics Center to the metal manufacturing with Dr. Metzloff and the engineering school here, and the ability of students to be able to design and then also manufacture right here on campus, I think is a great 1-2 punch. And now with Michael Gay's update that he gave me on the Innovation Center that we're trying to move forward on here in southwestern Wisconsin and right in Platteville, it all seems to be piecing together nicely, the vision of how a campus like UW-Platteville can be one of those incubators of economic development and job growth that our state desperately needs. And there's no reason why each of our campuses throughout the university system can't play a similar role. I'm concluding my 6th university tour that is now part of my congressional district, and especially the tour of the STEM studies and the basic research being done on these campuses. I started up in River Falls, I went to Stout, Eau Claire, Stevens Point now is part of the new congressional district. I was in UWL not too long ago, and now finally here at Platteville. And I feel very fortunate to be a representative, to be able to represent a district with such rich higher educational opportunities that are provided right here throughout western and now central Wisconsin. I've always viewed it as one of the sources of our strength as a state, but it is a source that I think is in jeopardy today because of budget decisions and the funding shortfalls and our ability to recruit and retain the type of talent that we need on these campuses so we're not losing out to the competition in other states and that, which is very easy to do, and we're starting to see that now. So none of this is a given as we go forward. There's got to be an important public-private partnership to sustain these activities and to build upon it, and that's why I've been trying to be a leading voice in Washington for this innovation agenda that we need as a nation. And before I do the formal check presentation that Mark has been kind to carry around with him this afternoon, let me just conclude with the story that I've been repeating for the better part of a year now, because I think it's relevant to some of the political challenges that we're facing today, some of the challenges overall that we face as a nation. I'm perhaps the only member of Congress that's commemorating the 150th anniversary of the 37th Congress that met for 6 weeks during the summer of 1862. Now, recall, that was the first full year of the American Civil War, and the North was getting beat and beat badly on the Civil War battlefield, and there was great doubt that our republic would even survive, let alone what type of country we would have in the years to come. But even during that time of great economic and military peril that our nation was facing, President Lincoln ordered the architect of the Capitol to keep building the dome, given the symbolic value that it had for our young nation. But that Congress also met for 6 weeks, and all they did during that time is they passed the Morrill Act, which established the land-grant public university system that we have throughout our country today, including right here in western Wisconsin. They passed the Pacific Railroad Act, which established the very first ever transcontinental transportation and communication system for our country. They passed the Homestead Act, which opened up the lands out west to the pioneers and the settlers. They also authorized the creation for the very first time the National Academy of Sciences, who still meet today, doing great research and making great policy recommendations that we still benefit from. And they also passed the very first ever personal income tax so we could finance the war effort instead of driving ourselves into debt and our nation into bankruptcy. because they knew that even during those challenging times, and I would submit they were more challenging then than what we face today, there were still important public investments that had to be made to ensure the future success and the opportunity of all Americans in this country. And that is a legacy of accomplishment that we still feel and that we still benefit from today. And the challenge we face is no less great. And the choices we face is no less stark of whether or not we're going to try to get these budget decisions done the right way at all levels. Being wise and understanding that we have budget deficits and a fiscal house that has to be brought back in order, but also that there's important seed corn that we have to be planting as a nation in order to reap a bountiful harvest. And for me, that seed corn is the investment and the commitment we make in education, in our undergraduate, in our research studies as a country. It's the worker training programs that we need. It's the expansion of broadband. It's basic and applied research that we see going. And it's that type of research being done on campuses like Platteville that the private sector won't or can't on their own because the return isn't quick enough, given their timetable of things. Yet we don't know where the next new breakthrough or next new big thing is going to come from. And oftentimes it's from the public funding of these research programs that lead to these new discoveries, and then the spin-off opportunities and whole new industries and whole new businesses being created as a consequence. So that's really the choice and the issues that we've got to wrestle with right now, and the direction that hopefully we'll continue to pursue as a nation. When I come to a campus like this, my faith and confidence and inspiration is restored that we can do this. I mean, there have been greater challenges that we face as a nation, but it is being done, and we need to figure out a way to sustain it. So with that long speech, since I don't get a chance to filibuster in the House, they only get to filibuster in the Senate these days. Let's do this formal presentation and make it official, shall we?